欢迎光临我的城市旧金山。旧金山是一个非常多元化的城市，我们有很多文化，在我们的路上，你可以看到欧洲文化、亚洲文化等等。My name is David Broockman. I am a professor of political science at the University of California, Berkeley, and I have been studying at CLA for almost 3 years now. I chose CLA after I did a lot of searching online for different options. And I saw there was a lot of different options out there, but I think what appealed to me about CLA was the great reviews it had, and also that it was a program that I could continue over time with a group. But most importantly, I think after I started CLA and why I've continued is just the quality of the teachers and the quality of the materials. I really like CLA's virtual classes. I started during the pandemic, so that was the only option, but I've never ever hesitated or looked back. Honestly, in part because it's just so convenient. I can roll out of bed in the morning when I do my classes Sunday morning and go right to class, and it's actually been super engaging. For me, as someone that goes on business trips a lot, I've also been able to join CLA's classes at this point from multiple continents, which has been really great for me, able to keep up with my learning and not worry that if I have a work commitment or some reason I need to be traveling, I can always keep up with class.
我会发明的，
被发明出来。
被发明出来。
I feel like the virtual class, for me, the experience is very similar in a lot of ways to an in-person class. I feel like I've really gotten to know my classmates over the months and years that we've been in class together. I think I've really gotten to know my teachers better. We have a lot of fun in class. So for me, it's kind of a win-win where it's much more convenient. At the same time, it's been kind of just as fun and just as engaging as going to class in person. I've had a few different teachers at CLA over the course of the last 3 years, and they've all been really fantastic. All of them clearly just care a lot about students, and I feel like are especially good at helping us understand some of the more difficult parts of the language. I'm someone who asks a lot of questions in class, and but the answers I get from CLA instructors are always super helpful, and they're really quick to point out, okay, this might be confusing, this might be something that you wouldn't expect, and that's really helped me as I've learned the language avoid some of, I think, the common pitfalls that people fall into where they can get confused about certain points. I feel like I always walk out of every class like really with a good understanding of that day's material, and it's a really credit to the really amazing quality of the instructors that CLA has.
So 共情, it means empathy.
CLA's curriculum is really fantastic. The textbook we use is really informative and really engaging. But in addition to that, CLA instructors provide a lot of other resources that go along with it. Vocabulary lists of words that we're learning, things that the textbook might not actually explain in the most helpful way that they can explain, additional words that go along with the words we learned, and understanding the differences between different similar words, as well as giving us lots of fun things like videos we can watch if we want to learn more. And really quick and easy homework assignments that help us practice and what we learned in class. So when I first started studying, I think some of my friends said to me, oh, why don't you use an app? And because I'm a teacher, I know that just using an app is not going to work. And I think there's just something really important about having a live human instructor who can track your progress, who can answer your questions. I think there's no way I would have had the progress that I've had if I was just using an app instead of having a group class.
可以把我们可以把我们的队的名字变成假青队。
I think for me, the motivation to continue has really come from two places. One is just, especially once you're a few months in and can start to actually have some brief conversations with real people, those experiences, I really got hooked on that. Like the first time I was able to use Chinese in the real world and have it work, I was like, wow, I want to keep doing this. I want to get better. And so for me, I think when you're starting the first few months, you can't quite get there, but you get there pretty quickly, and that is really fun. I think the other thing is more internally, you can see yourself grow. Even in the first few weeks of class, you'll be able to read certain characters, make certain sounds that you've probably never made before, understand tones, these kinds of things, remember words. And those kinds of things, I think, really keep me interested because I can see myself growing as a language learner. And that makes me want to continue because I can see the progress I'm making. 我有一个梦想，我希望有一天要将中国的城市看遍。I think for me too, to be honest, I never expected when I first started that I'd be able to get to this point. But actually, I feel like I've been able to put the time in, and that's really given me a lot of confidence in other parts of my life about my ability to tackle new challenges. So I feel like for people of any age, this is just a great way to learn something useful, something fun, but also something that can kind of give you a confidence in yourself too and enrich your life.